And boom, there we go. We are live. What's going on, guys? Welcome in. Take a seat and get comfortable. Hope you're all having an absolutely magical day today. It's great to see you all. Hope you're all keeping safe and well. So, on today's video, we're going to be checking out a band called Tyrantula, and specifically, we're going to be checking out their latest release, which came out May 16th, 2023, which is called Graveyard Rats. So, plenty of history with Tyrantula. Been a fan ever since I heard their track, which was called Moore's Omnibus, which we're actually going to be checking out just before we get into the just before we get into checking out Graveyard Rats. I've featured them. I featured the band twice on my YouTube channel. Did a reaction to their track called Sinister. And then I did a reaction for their EP, which was called Despondent, which came out about 6 months ago. Really fucking good. Really fucking good. Creepy, imposing, ominous deathcore is what I would call it. Varied as well. I should chuck that in there. It goes fast, goes slow, creepy, sinister, imposing, so on and so forth. We paint a really nice atmosphere whenever they release anything. It's always very memorable. So, like I like to do when I'm going to be reacting to a band's new song, I like to go listen to everything that they've made, and I've made a little note here. So let me break it down for you. 2022, Moore's Omnibus, sinister, fast, slow, heavy, great vocals. We're going to check this track out, but that really sums up these dudes. Sums them up very well. Sinister, fast, slow, heavy, great vocals. Just straight to the point. And then they released a track called Pain, which was more slammy and had slightly more kind of like chuggy sections, but still very sinister and fast and all that. That's kind of like a staple for these guys. Then they released a track called Sinister. More of the same. Then they released their Despondent EP, which goes a little bit blackened in places, but not full, like, you know, Worm, Shepherd, Lorna Shore, like not that blackened, but blackened enough, you know, got some blackened vibes, some blackened landscapes, and it also got a lot more techie. Kind of there's a fine line between technical death metal and just like death metal riffage, but they've slowly but surely adding in more to their sounds, more chugs, more slammy bits, little bit blackened, little bit more techie guitar lines, so on and so forth. And then they released another 2 tracks called Void and The Shape, which was just more of the same, just building, but never really getting away from that core kind of like very unsettling, very landscapey sound that they've been doing. And now that I look at it, man, they've had a really busy 2022. Did all that really come out in 2022? I'm gonna have to jump on the old Spotify here. Yeah, boy, really busy. Yeah, super busy. 1, 2, 3 singles, 4 singles, 6 singles. Yeah, okay, right. The Shape came out in 2023, actually, and then they also released an EP in that time as well. That's really busy. That's really fucking busy. Yeah, so let's listen to. I've got another couple of things to say, but let's listen to some music. So this was a song that got me into these guys. I'm fairly sure this was the first song I heard by them. Their debut, Moore's Omnibus. hell of a track. Hell of a track. So something interesting to note here before we get into Graveyard Rats. First of all, the title. Okay, right. Let's just rewind here a little bit. So this is an Instagram post. The next chapter begins in 1 week. This was on the 5th of May. Graveyard Rats is a single from the upcoming EP, A Visceral Feast of Violence, releasing this summer. It's also the first track with 830 audio behind the music and a taste of what the future holds. Let's get violent. So this could sound really, really different. Now, you can't tell too much by the name of a song, right? Too much. But let's just go, okay? Mors Omnibus, Pain, Sinister, Despondent, Void, The Shape, Graveyard Rats. That's different. That's really, really different. Now, for all I know, this could just be what they've been doing. Sinister, slightly black, slightly slammy, but just deathcore. But I've got a feeling that this is going to sound quite different because it's a new guy behind the music. What did we say the guy's name was? 830 Audio. I've got a feeling this is going to be different. Another reason I think this is going to be different is because they decided to release this track on a channel called The Slaughterhouse. So all of their releases so far, bar one, have been on Slam Worldwide. You've got Sinister, Pain, Despondent, all that. Then they released their track Void on The Circle Pit. Go follow The Circle Pit, by the way. Really, really good channel. It's not Slam Worldwide is really good, but the Circle Pit do. They've got a wider variety of music. They've got straight deathcore on there, but they've also got a lot of other stuff, and they're kind of like a smaller up and coming music channel. But definitely go check them out. A lot of fun. So releasing this on the Slaughterhouse. The Slaughterhouse do things like grindcore, gore grind, gore noise, really stripped back black metal. They do some kind of I don't want to say powercore. Is it powercore? Power. Very stripped back, no nonsense hardcore stuff, super low production. Everything sounds kind of fuzzy. There's no deathcore, never mind black and deathcore, that type of stuff that you'll find on the Slaughterhouse. It's all very much experimental, kind of more stripped back kind of stuff. So for them to release it on the Slaughterhouse, that also makes me think, I think this is going to sound quite different. And just by looking at the title as well, Graveyard Rats is the newest single from the brutal death metal band Tyrantula. I would not call what they've released. I mean, what we just listened to wasn't brutal death metal, right? So I don't know what this is going to sound like. I'm excited. I'm also slightly nervous because I don't quite know what this is gonna be like. But I have my pen, still. I have my paper. I've got my vape. We'll get through this together, guys. Right? Okay. Graveyard Rats, Tyrantula. Let's go. That was an advert. That was not part of the outro. Okay. Tyrantula. Graveyard Rats. First of all, I'm just going to turn the brightness down a little bit because the unpredictable weather in Scotland makes it look like I'm either live from the pearly gates or from a dungeon somewhere. So, that was really different. That was really, really different. To the untrained ear, I would say that probably sounded quite similar to their older stuff. You know, you've got the harsh vocals, you've got the heaviness, you've got the fastness. Production's very similar and stuff like that. But let me tell you, that was really different. My prediction was correct. So first off, if that's what they're going to sound like, if that's what Tyrantula are going to sound like now, I'm all for that. That was fucking tight. That was really, really fucking tight. Let's just play the intro, because there was some creepy voice lines and creepy, like spoken word taken from a game, taken from a horror movie, taken from a blah, 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 whatever, on their older stuff. I can't quite remember what track it was, but that set a very different tone right from the get-go. There's a bit at like a minute that I wanna highlight anyway, so let's just go. Totally different vibe. Not creepy and not unsettling. More just much more. That's kind of like what you would expect at the beginning of like a brutal death metal song, or a slamming brutal death metal song, or just a slam. You know, someone laughing like a maniac, and then it sounds like something jumping up and someone getting their shit fucked up good and proper. Totally different vibe. More kind of like horror movie-esque rather than kind of like apocalyptic landscape where there's just ruins and just kind of like smoldering rubble. That was the kind of the vibes that a lot of their earlier music gave, but that totally different. This bit here is so different from what I'm used to from these guys. You can just hear where the guitars, and then you can just hear the vocals and the drums just firing away. Pure brutal death metal, and I fucking love it. The guitars sound different, the drums sound different, the vocals sound different. I'm pretty sure it's the same dude doing the vocals. I'm fairly sure, but he sounds really different as well. It's just, it's very different, but I'm digging it. I'm digging the shit out of it. But different, the same, doesn't really matter. If it slaps, it slaps. This shit slaps. 120 is the next bit I want to go to. We'll start here just to make sure we get to the right bit. So nasty. very slidey. Instead of going dum 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 dum, it's like, you know, it's just marauding. I call it a lurch. And then with a little underwater section, that's what it sounds like to me anyway. Everything's muffled, and then straight into another fast section. I'm just gonna actually check this out. Again, with the like how like older Tyrantula would have done that. Like it would have been like it would have faded away, and the sound effect would have been like, you know, a kind of like distorted voice of like a little like the ghost of a child or something, kind of like whispering. Or it would, you know, like something very kind of like, you know, creepy deathcore-esque. But what they put in is it sounds like someone getting their fucking shit kicked in. Very nice. Very, very nice. Last bit I want to go to here. I love that effect. It reminds me of Extermination Dismemberment. I know that they're not the first band to do that, but that kind of like everything sounds muffled and it just starts to, just the clarity just comes up and up and up and up and up. I love that. And then a nice little bit as well with it, and also fade outs as well, where it's not just like where it's not just like there's just like a doom, and then it just goes round and then straight on to the next part, like an actual proper fade out, and then 2 seconds of really, really like high in the mix bass right at the end. I noticed that. Like, just right at the very end. Interesting stuff. Very, very interesting stuff from Tyrantula. That was an unexpected treat. Well, okay, it wasn't super unexpected, like just from like the name, from the fact that there was a new guy behind the music, from the fact that, you know, they released it on the Slaughterhouse, you know, just all those things put together. I kind of figured that it was going to be different, and I kind of figured that it was going to sound a little bit more on the brutal side of things rather than the core side of things. But I love curveballs. I don't expect bands to sound the same all the fucking time. There's no reason for them to. Why would they? Why would you expect a band to sound the same all the time? They might sound the same the whole time. You know, they might just, you know, they might do a Cannibal Corpse where, like, you know, I fucking love Cannibal Corpse, but they're on like what, their 97th album at the moment, and they've sounded pretty much the same since the early days. I can already feel Cannibal Corpse people going, no, that sounds totally different, it's totally changed, blah blah blah. But what I mean is that they haven't went like, you know, symphonic. They haven't went, you know, there's no djent sections in any, you know, any new Cannibal Corpse stuff. You know, Corpse Grinder hasn't started doing like whistle highs, or he hasn't started like doing like, you know, melodic vocals or anything. You know, that totally works. And then you've got bands like Bring Me the Horizon, which admittedly, they've possibly gone, you know, I don't mind their newer stuff, but it's not exactly shit that I could react to on the channel, you know what I mean? It's very, very light, but they went through the same thing. Some bands change their sound over time. Some bands stick to what they know best. Both are fine. And yeah, that sounded really, really different, but it was an absolute banger of a track. So these guys can sound like whatever the fuck they want. If they're going to keep putting out stuff like that, big thumbs up. I'm here for it. So, as per usual, if you scroll down, you'll find links to the video that the song that we just heard, Graveyard Rats. You'll also find links to the band's YouTube channel, to their Instagram, to their Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, whatever the fuck else they've got. They'll all be down below. You'll find links to where you can buy some merch. You'll find links for their merch where you can stream it, Spotify, Apple Music, so on and so forth. Please, 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 from the bottom of my heart, scroll down, click on every single one of those links. I know times are tough, but one of the best ways you can support bands is just buying some merchandise from them. But you can also just stream their shit multiple times, get those numbers up so they get noticed by, like, you know, possibly record labels and all that type of shit. Like I said, buy some merchandise. I know times are tough, but it really helps these bands out. Go follow them on all their social medias, like all their stuff, go back, listen to the rest of their stuff, because the rest of the stuff sounds very, very different, but it's really, really fucking good. Take it from me. I've heard all of their stuff many, many times. Go listen to all of that. Just help them out in any way that you can, because that was fucking cool, and I can't wait to hear what else is coming next. Who the fuck knows? Maybe it's going to be K-pop. It's probably not going to be K-pop, but you never know in this line of work. So, one more time, Tyrantula, Graveyard Rats, shit fried the hair on my balls. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Take it easy. Love you all very much, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.